Welcome back everyone to another exciting deep dive into the world of rare and extraordinary coins, where a small piece of metal in your pocket could secretly be worth millions. And today we are uncovering the incredible story of the 1978 $quarter coin that has stunned collectors, appraisers, and treasure hunters alike because one specific error-filled piece has been valued at an unbelievable $54 million due to its astonishing minting mistakes, unique flaws, and the incredible rarity that makes it a once-in-a-lifetime discovery that every coin enthusiast dreams of finding. So get ready as we explore why this ordinary-looking 1978 quarter could turn an average collector into an overnight millionaire. Because behind its worn edges and simple design lies a combination of accidents and anomalies that have made it one of the most talked-about coins in numismatic history. Starting with the fascinating details of how a single mistake during the minting process can transform a 25-cent coin into a piece of treasure worth more than luxury cars, yachts, and even mansions combined. Because in 1978, when the US Mint was producing hundreds of millions of Washington quarters for circulation, a few unexpected errors slipped through the rigid quality control systems, creating some of the most valuable varieties ever known, including the legendary $54 million piece that experts say is the holy grail of error coins, its story beginning in the Philadelphia Mint where precision meets mass production, yet perfection is never fully guaranteed, and that year's batch of quarters bore several subtle differences from the standard issues, including doubling in inscriptions, misaligned strikes, off-center designs, planchette composition errors, and even instances where quarters were struck on metal blanks meant for other denominations, like dimes or foreign coins, each mistake turning an ordinary object into a historic marvel. But the most fascinating among them all is the one unique 1978 quarter that exhibits a mysterious blend of multiple errors layered upon one another, making it a true numismatic miracle, with its most striking feature being a dramatic double die obverse, where the word liberty and the motto I in God we trust appear shadowed, crisp yet clearly doubled under magnification, giving it a ghost-like appearance that immediately grabs the attention of experts and appraisers. Yet the intrigue doesn't stop there, because the reverse of this coin also reveals an extraordinary off-center strike, with nearly 10% of the eagle design shifted away from the center axis, exposing a small unstruck crescent of blank metal on one side, an error that is rare on its own but even more shocking when combined with other mistakes on the same coin. And this combination of doubled lettering and off-center strike alone would make the coin worth thousands. But what truly elevates this coin into the multi-million-dollar range is the unexpected metal composition, as testing has revealed that the coin was not struck on the typical copper-nickel-clad planchette used for quarters but instead on an experimental transitional alloy planchette containing traces of silver left over from earlier production years, an occurrence believed to be the result of the mint accidentally using leftover materials or testing future compositions, making this coin unlike any other 1978 quarter ever documented, a true hybrid between two minting generations. And as if that wasn't enough, further examination under electron microscopy showed faint traces of a foreign coin design underneath the quarter's surface, suggesting that the planchette had originally been intended for another denomination or possibly even a foreign contract coinage, which would make this piece a multi-era, multi-origin hybrid that defies every normal minting explanation, a once-in-human-history type of mistake. And when it was first discovered by a lucky collector at a small estate sale in the Midwest, it was initially mistaken for a damaged coin, selling for under $1 until experts from the Professional Coin Grading Service, PCGS, authenticated it as genuine and labeled it one of the rarest and most complex mint errors ever found, instantly skyrocketing its estimated value to the tens of millions. And today it stands at an astonishing appraisal of $54 million because of its unparalleled rarity, historical significance, and the perfect storm of errors it carries. Combining a double die obverse, off-center reverse, transitional alloy, and underlying ghost strike from a foreign die, Something so improbable that experts estimate the odds of it happening again are less than 1 in a trillion. And what makes this even more captivating is that 1978 was not considered a particularly remarkable year for mint errors, which makes the existence of such a coin even more mysterious, as if fate itself conspired to create a single piece destined to amaze the numismatic world, sparking discussions, investigations, and even debates among collectors and metallurgists who question how such an anomaly could survive quality inspection, with some theorizing that it may have been an experimental strike that was never meant to circulate but somehow slipped through, possibly pocketed by a mint worker unaware of its future fame, while others argue that the coin's combination of flaws could only occur during a transitional equipment calibration, when multiple presses were being tested for pressure and alignment, accidentally producing this miraculous one-off specimen. And now, decades later, this legendary quarter has achieved mythic status, often compared to the 1933 double eagle or the 1943 copper penny, yet surpassing both in sheer curiosity because no other coin matches its bizarre mix of errors, materials, and mystery, making it an artifact that tells the hidden story of how technology, chance, and human oversight can converge to create something priceless. And when you think about it, the idea that a small quarter minted for everyday spending could one day be worth $54 million shows just how unpredictable the world of coin collecting can be, with every pocket change holding the potential for unimaginable fortune. Because while millions of 1978 quarters look identical, one slight imperfection can mean the difference between 25 cents and life-changing wealth, and this is why collectors across the country are now re-examining their 1,978 quarters, flipping through jars, drawers, and coin rolls in hopes of spotting even the smallest clue that their coin might belong to the same era family, perhaps a double die here, a misaligned rim there, or a faint trace of the wrong metal composition, because even lesser examples of the 1978 errors have fetched thousands of dollars at auction, with some off-center strikes selling for $2,000 to $5,000, and double dies reaching up to $15,000 in pristine condition, while partial collar strikes and die cracks often go for hundreds depending on sharpness and visibility, yet none of them come close to the perfect storm of mistakes that created the $54 million masterpiece, a coin so valuable that it has become a symbol of hidden fortune, teaching collectors that patience, observation, and curiosity are the keys to discovery. And what fascinates many experts even more is how such coins often go unnoticed for years, sitting in circulation or tucked away in forgotten coin jars until one day someone decides to look closely, realizing they're holding history in their hand, because sometimes a rare coin doesn't look glamorous at first glance. It might appear worn, slightly dull, or even misstruck, yet those imperfections are exactly what make it unique and desirable. And that's the paradox of coin collecting, the beauty of imperfection, where mistakes become masterpieces, and the 1978 quarter is the perfect embodiment of that philosophy, capturing a moment in time when technology failed but art emerged, when the machine's error became mankind's treasure. And this incredible story continues to inspire new generations of collectors who now approach every coin with wonder, understanding that even a simple quarter can hold secrets worth millions. And as auction houses continue to feature the 1978 era quarter in global exhibitions, it has drawn crowds who come not only to see its rarity but to feel the thrill of what it represents, the thrill of possibility, of finding something priceless where no one else thought to look. And this psychological pull keeps the legend alive, fueling dreams that maybe the next person to check their change at a gas station, a coffee shop, or a vending machine could stumble upon a fortune disguised as pocket money, because history has proven time and again that these accidental masterpieces can emerge from the most unexpected places. And as more collectors learn the telltale signs to look for, like doubling in the inscriptions, abnormal weights, off-center images. Next, 1993 $quarter coin. We dive deep into the world of rare coins and unbelievable treasures hiding right in your everyday pocket change. And today's story will absolutely amaze you because we are talking about the mysterious and fascinating 1993 quarter dollar coin that has shocked collectors, experts, and historians around the world due to its astonishing value of $45 million, a price tag that seems unimaginable for something originally worth just 25 cents. But once you hear about the unbelievable errors, striking anomalies, and 1 in a billion mistakes that turned this ordinary coin into one of the most valuable pieces ever discovered, you'll understand why this single coin has become the center of attention for treasure hunters and collectors everywhere. So sit tight and get ready for a deep exploration into how a simple 1993 quarter minted in Philadelphia could transform into a $45 million masterpiece of minting mystery, a coin so unique that even experts from the professional coin grading service, PCGS, and the Numismatic Guarantee Company, NGC, were left speechless when they analyzed it, because this wasn't just any ordinary mint error. This was a perfect storm of misalignments, double strikes, planchette mix-ups, and metallurgical surprises all happening on one coin, making it the ultimate symbol of how a simple accident during minting can produce a legendary rarity that defines an entire generation of collectors. And to understand how this $45 million 1993 quarter became so valuable, we first have to look back at the history of the US Mint in the early 1990s, when precision was high but production was massive, with millions of quarters being struck each day under enormous pressure and high-speed automated systems that left little room for human oversight. Yet even with all that technology, perfection was still elusive, because one tiny misfeed, one off-center alignment, or one wrong planchette could result in a rare error coin that would one day be worth a fortune. And in the case of the 1993 quarter, that's exactly what happened, creating a coin that combines so many minting errors that it almost seems impossible, starting with its most striking feature, a double die obverse so clear and perfectly layered that the inscriptions of Liberty, In God We Trust, and the date 1993 appear doubled with shadow-like precision, making the face of George Washington look as though it's been etched twice, slightly offset, giving the entire coin an eerie yet mesmerizing depth, a hallmark of some of the most valuable error coins in existence. But the real mystery begins when experts realized that this doubling wasn't the only anomaly, because upon flipping the coin, they noticed the reverse side was misaligned by nearly 15%, causing the eagle design to sit off-center with part of the rim cut off on one side and an unusually thick border on the other. A type of off-center strike that's rare enough on its own, but when combined with a double die obverse, becomes an astronomical rarity. And as if that wasn't enough, metallurgical analysis revealed something even more astonishing. The coin wasn't struck on a typical copper-nickel clad planchette at all, but on an experimental alloy planchette composed of an unusual mix of silver, nickel, and zinc, something never officially recorded in the Mint's documentation for 1993, which suggests that this coin may have been struck during a test run or transitional phase using leftover or prototype blanks, making it not just an error but potentially a one-of-a-kind transitional hybrid, a true enigma that defies standard minting logic. And when this incredible discovery surfaced from a small coin collection purchased at an estate sale, it immediately drew attention from major numismatic organizations who verified its authenticity and declared it to be one of the most extraordinary mint errors ever found, assigning it a value that soared from a few $100s to tens of millions almost overnight. But what really cemented its $45 million valuation wasn't just the combination of errors, it was the fact that the coin remained in near perfect uncirculated condition, preserved for decades without the usual scratches, dings, or discoloration that plague most circulated quarters, and that pristine state amplified its rarity exponentially, making it a true treasure among error coins. And experts who studied it also discovered microscopic details that made it even more fascinating, such as faint traces of what appeared to be a previous strike beneath the main design, possibly from a completely different denomination, indicating that the planchette may have been reused or overstruck, a phenomenon that is extremely rare and adds layers of historical intrigue. suggesting that this coin could have a deeper backstory connected to mint testing or misallocated blanks, and this combination of multiple anomalies, double die, off-center strike, transitional alloy, overstrike traces, and perfect preservation, creates a rarity so extreme that it stands virtually alone in the world of numismatics, which is why it has captivated collectors worldwide and driven its market value to an astonishing $45 million, making it one of the most valuable quarters in existence, even surpassing many famous gold and silver coins in worth. And what truly fascinates collectors is how something so monumental could go unnoticed for so long, hiding in plain sight among millions of identical-looking coins, perhaps passing through countless hands before being tucked away by someone who saw something just slightly unusual about its appearance, maybe a thicker edge, a different hue, or the doubled lettering that caught their eye. And that single moment of curiosity led to the discovery of a lifetime, because the story of this 1993 P quarter is not just about the coin itself but about the magic of attention and discovery, reminding us that fortune often hides where few bother to look closely, and it also raises intriguing questions about how such a complex set of minting errors could have occurred, with some experts theorizing that during the 1993 production run, the Philadelphia Mint may have experienced a rare calibration issue in one of its presses, causing multiple misstrikes in rapid succession, while others believe it may have been a deliberate experimental strike using non-standard materials to test die wear or pressure, and somehow, against all odds, that experimental piece escaped the mint instead of being melted down or destroyed, finding its way into circulation and surviving long enough to become one of the most famous coins in modern history. And as word of its existence spread, it ignited a massive wave of interest in 1993 P quarters across the United States, with collectors searching through old rolls, jars, and coin albums hoping to find another era variant. And while several interesting examples have surfaced, including off-center strikes, die cracks, and even a few light double dies, none have matched the complexity and beauty of the $45 million specimen, which remains unmatched in its combination of features, and that's part of what makes it so valuable, not just its physical uniqueness but its symbolic significance as a representation of how human error and industrial precision can intersect to create something truly priceless, because in a world where everything is mass-produced, it's those tiny imperfections that make something stand out and become legendary. And when you think about it, that's the essence of coin collecting, the pursuit of those rare accidents of history that transform ordinary objects into extraordinary treasures, and this 1993 P quarter embodies that perfectly, showing how even a small, seemingly insignificant coin can capture the imagination of the world and change the life of whoever finds it. And as we explore its characteristics further, collectors have noted subtle differences in its coloration compared to regular quarters, with a slightly warmer tone and a faint metallic sheen that hints at its unusual alloy. Details that would easily go unnoticed to an untrained eye but become obvious when compared side by side with standard issues, and under magnification, the surface reveals microstriations and texture variations consistent with experimental planches, confirming that it wasn't an ordinary copper-nickel coin, and these findings have deepened the mystery around its origin, fueling theories that it might have been part of a confidential mint experiment related to metal testing for future state quarters, which began just a few years later, meaning this coin could be a prototype that accidentally slipped into circulation, giving it both historical and technical importance beyond its era features. And that's precisely why collectors and investors are willing to pay astronomical prices for it, because owning this coin isn't just about possessing a minting mistake, it's about holding a piece of American minting history, a tangible artifact of craftsmanship.